Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Today is Tuesday, April 15th. It is 10:02 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. We have a market that is, or that has opened inside previous day range, which is an advertisement for chop and rotation. Many people just get too excited, right, when they see this kind of movements in the market. As the market opens, I am just pondering here if this is a counteraction to overnight inventory. Notice where saddle is. You know, there's a lot of activity that happened below saddle, and probably there's some inventory here that has been cut short now. The volume, overall volume, is telling me, is pointing me towards that. I'm leaning towards that side. Check. I'm going to label the low now. This is the low. Today's low. Okay. This is questionable 414 low. And why it says questionable? Because I have hardback here, POC here from yesterday. The same thing happened yesterday, right? But there's a difference relative to yesterday. If I open, let me see if I can open window. This is, you know, I am starting to like Sierra data. You know, they have their own data. They have Denali. It is pretty reliable. I am discovering. Now I use Rhythmic for my window trader charts, and it's just, sometimes it just takes too much time to upload. I have attempted like 3 or 4 times already to open here. Oh, this is going to crash again, seems. Oh yeah, it has crashed. Okay, and if you check your daily charts, let me see how is 53.90. That would be 53.90. Let's see tomorrow's. 53.90 is 14 points. Wow, that's not cheap, man. Okay, I've started to monitor these options here, the 53.90. Okay, the trend is to the upside. I have no intention to short anything here right now. Right? The market is, the title of this stream is Trending Markets and Momentum. What we have here, what we have is a trending market. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days trending to the upside. I have extended this trend line. Right? I have extended this trend line. Checking if this high here, that would be 83 something, 80. Let's call it 80. That would be some kind of support or resistance in this case, right? And I am watching, and this is from my homework. Instead of watching this gap high, which I think many are focused on this one. I think the key here lies in this days range. If the market can take this day range out, high out, I will start treating this as a balance, breaking out the balance relative to this one, right? And if that happens, the potential destination could be close the gap. But if it is rejected, it can come down crashing to this low here, right? Still, that's a kind of like an intraday or short term. My shortest term vision of this market, right here, coming. I'm using this active. I am very active relative to this one, because this I come out to see that this is a go, kind of like a go no go level for me here. You can see in the weekly also we have a range here, 4 or 3 week range here. That market has stopped here. I'm not looking this anymore. I have this to watch, and you can see the trend is to the downside, taking this low out. The next thing is, last week high, and that's why I call this. I put a question mark here, right? What can happen if this one is taken, coming back into this range, taking this high, can target first thing, then I go back to my dailies, right, and check what I have there. I have this gap, and the market has been very active relative to this range. The monthly, there is something here, right? Halfback is around the 10% rally that market has had from these lows here. This is a 10% rally. 20% would be kind of like twice that, taking this high. That's 20% bounce from the lows, which is huge, man, huge. 20% for a year would be amazing, and that will imply that this bar will have tremendous, very impressive buying tail here. Under the current circumstances, is that possible? Who knows, right? I have no idea. This was a go-no-go level before, just above this opening. Remember, even if the market takes the opening, this area here, and reaches that 20% mark, it is still, the trend still remains to the downside in the monthly. Now, what are the odds that this market is going to come back up here and take this high out? I believe that's very low odds under the current circumstances. Market, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. The economy is actually at very, I consider it's in danger. It took Trump only 3 months to destroy everything. Basically, the Fed took Jerome Powell. Really, I consider that he did a really good job engineering, trying to engineer a soft landing, and we were almost there. Right? Employment has good numbers. The last numbers were good. CPI was good. PPI was good. PCI was good. Everything was good. But all that is from what we are harvesting from the past, right? For the past months. And only one man, right, can put everything in danger, man. And that's the context around this market, right? What is the confidence now that and here is when this becomes relevant. These charts become relevant. What's happened to the dollar, for example, right? When the market crashes, investors usually seek refuge on the dollar, right? Because it's a safe haven. The other thing that happens is, when equities fall, when equities collapse, the next thing is bonds. The bond market starts to rally because it is seen as a safe haven, and that's not happening, right? This is not happening. On top of that, crude oil has fallen tremendously. It's forming a range here. You can see there is a range forming here, trending range to the downside. You have lows here, these highs here, trending lower, right? A potential range in formation here. This can come back to 58. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but probably. And this is because they see, investors see this as a sign of recession coming, right? And when that happens, production decreases, and energy is not needed that much. And this is what's very worrying, right? The conjunction of this one, and the equities falling, right? Dollar is just a consequence of that. The uncertainty, investors seek refuge somewhere, and that's happening with the dollar. Right? It's safer than Bitcoin selling, right? I mean, what do you have? Bitcoin can come crashing to zero anytime, under the perfect storm or whatever. I don't want to talk about that. Okay, let's go back to this. We are right at this level here in the daily. What is that? 80. We talk about 84, right? We're right here. I'm going to remove this one and put it to the side. And that is the context for what I am monitoring or checking right now. As the market opened, and it starts to develop. One of the first signs that this is something serious would be, the market printing or single printing its way out of this range. That would have been something here, right? I am not looking to the downside. We are inside yesterday's range. Value is inside yesterday's value. This is very questionable. What is happening here at the opening. Okay, I'm going to expand this profile. Right? Is what happened yesterday, but it took long time, right? It took a half day, right? 1, 2, 3 hours. 3 hours around 1 p.m. This is the first rotation that happened when the market was bought from this very, very, very visible reference, which is, and the market got too short actually down here. Now, now we know, of course, now we know when this is going to stop. Right? And before thinking further, I'm not going to buy from seller, I'm going to buy from Halbach, right, or POC. This is very, very questionable. Doesn't have to be repaired today, because remember this market is trending higher in the daily time frame. There are better odds here for questionable reference in the upper side to be checked rather than the ones in the lower side. Rather than in the lower side. Let me see if I can open this thing again. This will be my 5th or 6th time. It's not window. It is the data provider here. I can also have that choice to use Window Trader standalone platform, but that would mean that I will need to buy data from CQG or any other or IQ feeds, right? And Photon let me use Rhythmic to power Window Trader here. Let's try another way. Let's go. Oh, okay. Now it is. Now we're talking about something. All right. I have these ones on the side. I just have it here so I can check. I am testing this charts here. This is what I like. Also, what I like from Denali, as soon as I open, it is populated the numbers, the data here. I have to call for data here. these are little things, right? There's minutia. I don't care. That's is good, completely good. This delta here, you can see here is the delta here. Is it? Yeah, 62. I wonder why. Ooh, what was that, man? What was that? What was that? What happened here? Let me check. It's 10:20. Something. and this kind of breaks, actually, these are opportunities to buy. Let's see. What's a memo? There can be something here. All right, maybe let's see if this low is taken here, is repaired here. Remember, this was absolutely questionable here. Okay, which is C50. I was checking here, 55, 55. 55, 55, where are you? News, you expect tariffs to remain as discussion make little progress. This is one, that was the one, did you see that? US expect, I mean, European Union expect US tariffs to remain as discussion make little progress, right? As what I am expecting here, quote unquote expecting, right? Every time this news come, the impact that this can have in the market is going to get lower and lower. Look at this delta here. Delta here. This has changed. Now this is 2 periods. This is a real time. I like this. In that case, in that regard, I like this. Maybe it's because it's powered by rhythmic, but I like this one better. But can you see the risk here that's happening? I have no intentions to play any short here. I am actually looking to the upside, but I just don't find anything here. This low here is more and more. Come on, where are you? It is more and more questionable here. But that is what the market is doing. Earnings, we have banks here. You know, there's a bunch of banks, Alcoa, Netflix on Thursday. Okay, Friday is holiday. We have a holiday. Yeah, I can see something here actually. You know, a couple days before this number, you can see some kind of wide range here. Let's see. Right now has been corrected. Next thing, this low here. It's 53.90. I say those were 17. Man, that was very expensive. Now at 30 points. Remember, I was checking these options here. I was monitoring this thing. Not today. I mean, not today's expiration. It's probably tomorrow. I think this is it. This can be a good area now. I still have 7 minutes, like 10 minutes to go. It's still inside value area. It's still around the center of yesterday, so a lot of chop here and rotation potentially. Okay, I think this trade has been completed now. That was aimed to repair this low. This very, very questionable low that we have here. Now this one is also questionable. Okay, this is also questionable because it's a couple ticks from last. Notice how far they are from each other. This is still questionable, but not as much as this one was. Okay, this is a better low. Now, halfback has moved lower, and POC along with it. Notice there is lots of white here. Yeah. Where's this? I just need one here. All right. All right, just one here so I can see the last. Notice these whites here. White here, bunch of whites here. And let's see if this one turns white in a little bit. Because I have Sierra gave me all whites. Now I have some here, down here in A. A bunch of reds and purple up here. All right. Oh, nothing has happened, man. There is nothing here. This is short-term traders picking each other's pockets here. This high has been taken. This low has been taken. We have an outside bar. Let's see if it is an outside bar. Actually, that will be, the next bar opening below here, below A low or above A low. Okay. Opening inside this one, inside A range is just more chop, more rotation here. And check this out, okay? Just check this out. Patience, right? I didn't do anything here. But look at where this, come on, man. Look at where this high was made. And this is something that I was observing, right? Potentially using this trend line as right now is resistance, right? I mean, who knows, it can become support. Fields that was taken, it's just natural for traders if they see this kind of patterns here. That there's an attempt to break this, right? There's an attempt to break this one, fails, it closes below. No, the next thing we know, this is coming lower, all right? But as I say, I am looking. Instead of looking at that, I am looking at this range here. Let me do something about that. Edit properties. Let's call it, I don't know if you can hide. Yeah, I can do this without blocking. I guess I need some kind of like a darker colors. Maybe purple. Nope. Edit something blue maybe. Oh. Edit properties, color, more. I think it's going to be here. Okay. There you go. That's better. All right. I have that range. I'm checking this one here, and just for reference purposes. Right. Once this has failed, it doesn't take this one. Potentially looking at this one and this one. This low now, but still, this is an inside bar. No hurry. I am in no hurry to do anything here. Just one little piece of news, and look at what happened. Now momentum has switched, right? Momentum was to the upside, struggling, going higher, but that's what markets do when they put a trend. Market started trending higher, that will just, grind its way in the direction of the trend. And these breaks here usually are seen as a buying opportunities. All right? Now, we have a rotation. And I also decided to call this. This was very kind of like very obvious here, right? This liquidation that happened at close yesterday, right? It took all the laggards that come here and this from in this market. I don't remember what happened here. I just had this thing now because I can see there was half back here. The laggards coming here. But what this thing did is close this distribution here. You know, if I split this day, I don't know, can I do that here? I think so. Split profile. Yeah, you go. Yeah, go. Beautiful. All right. Can you see? You know, there's one day here and another day here. This one was grinding here, and this is a very questionable low here. Very questionable intraday low that we have here. And it's too wide low. But I was watching how this late liquidation didn't take this one. It didn't take one, which for me was setting the scenario, setting trade for today. You know, kind of like a rotational day. But we never know for sure. We never know for sure. And notice, right? Notice this high has been taken. This rally high has been taken. This one is somewhat questionable, is it? Is it? Where it is? Where this high is? This actually is quite questionable high here. This is not good, man. It has excess, but comes exactly from this one. Late rally high, late pullback low. It has taken this low, has taken this high here, have this range here, building value on top of yesterday's value. You know, it's adding more. It's adding more value to this range. But the psychology, right? The behavior. Did you see the behavior? What happened here? Right? What happened with traders? The thinking of the traders here. What happened here yesterday and what happened today? I'm not going to wait for the market to come back, right? And I'm not going to wait for the market to come back to settle or whatever, right? Because I am going to buy it right now, you know? Because I don't want to miss the rally that followed. Yesterday I missed the rally, today I'm not going to miss it, so I'm going to buy. That is kind of like you can see that, you know, happening. The same thing now that happened here is happening right here. Same thing. Well, I just joined this profile and we have seen what happened here. And why I'm calling this too wide low, what happened here is happening again. Oh, look at that. Instead of this one turning white, this one turned purple. Good. Now we have some volume. These were longs. Did you see volume being added to this one? You know, once this one fell, you have liquidation here. Now, the volume that we have here, purple, is less than the volume we had before here. So we have less volume coming in here as the market tries to go back up again. The next thing probably selling from halfback. Today's halfback. Haven't done anything here. Oh, and this is what I posted also at 9:55 in Discord. And I just many times you won't understand what is here, right? The context, and that's the thing about alerts and all that things, right? To explain this, just remember, just pay attention to how much time I spend explaining this thing, right? The context for this thing. If I put this on Twitter or whatever, you will just see a picture and don't understand what is the context here, right? Regarding this line here. It's not after the fact, right? That was made before the break we have seen. Just a second, please. Okay. Um, I am going to call it a day here, but I want to leave you with some thoughts here. Okay. This market is range bound now. We have a range here. let's use value here. And we'll look at where this value is forming here. Right at the center. At the center value. I'm not checking the range. Right? I'm not checking the range. I'm rather checking value, okay? This is the center. And while I am checking here, is break out of these things. Right? Continuation, immediately monitor for continuation is breaking out of this, taking this high out here and re-entering this range here. Okay. Follow it, but correction of this thing. All of this inventory from the overnight started has a base here as well, very questionable, right? But doesn't have volume, so never mind. It is too wide low here in this day. We have two periods that have come right to this level here. So this will be immediate. It happens to be overnight low as well. This is irrelevant. What matters is this one. Man, I look like a basketball coach here, just too much crap in my charts. This is more important. Okay, it's too wide. Well, one period coming here, another period coming here, and from here we have that late rally high. It happens to be the overnight low as well. Yeah? Now remember, the trend is the intraday. I mean, the daily trend is higher. This is why I'm checking now. This I'm going to be checking. This is, as we've seen, usually seen as a buying opportunity when the market does kind of movement. Sometimes just inventory gets too long here, you know. Some of them have to be shaking, the weak hands have to be shaking. So later, this can keep going high. I believe that can be the case here today, especially if there's more value accumulating here, and we have Netflix on Thursday, right? There has to be some kind of movements here, either to the upside or to the downside, so there can be a reaction after earnings. It happens all the time. That's market dynamics. What's going to be? I have no idea. It doesn't have to be any of these things, right? But what I'm trying to do here is trying to develop some things, try to see what is developing here. Right? We have seen that, with the same thing that we did here, with this thing, right? Let's see it here. By the way, what is this level here? 28. This low here, this range is 28. Okay, let's see what that is here. 28. Where are 28? 28. No freaking way. Look at that. Look at that. Where's 28? 28 is this one. This low here. This is the low of that range. That is way back here, like a 5-6 days back here. It hasn't taken that low. It was bought right from there. Probably, if there's something here to the upside, different kind of participants are going to be, because these loans here that was removed here, most likely who the smallest time frame that was buying here, after they are squeezed, right, or forced to liquidate here to the downside, they will be selling now. Somebody that with another mindset will be buying into this selling. Yes, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but happens all the time. And the surrounding circumstances. Well, remember, this is an inside day. We have balance inside balance. We have value inside value. There's nothing going on here. Nothing going on here. If you got something, good. If you have something has worked, very good. Probably most people that had tried something here, they will stop it out before any kind of movement, or they may have some losses now, or may have gain and then lost what they gain, and that's just starts to when that happen. When that happens, you start to get tired. You got to get afraid. You may have, let's see, well, Apple imported iPhones will ahead of Trump tariffs. Okay. What I was saying, greed may be present, fear may be present. Right? You don't want to close when you have something. You don't want to enter because you have lost, and that part is critical here. Right? That part, when you spend that mental capital in these kind of days, early in the session, has an impact later on when or if there is any kind of opportunity, right, that will impact us to take that trade when we see it or when we perceive there is an opportunity. Okay? The same guidelines remains. Try to find out if there is something, find location. If we see something, assess risk, and then follow your plan, right? For taking losses or locking profits. Okay, man. Unless you have any questions, I will be calling it a day and wish you a wonderful world, a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.